All right. Welcome to tonight's side session of Carpe Noctem. This is a little different than what we normally do. This is a hunter game within Chicago. One of Simon's old compatriots from a game that was from the past, one that we played before we started streaming. Um, Essentially, this is one of Simon's old crew, and we're gonna just check up on see what he's up to. He's been talked about much, and I've seen a couple times through the Carpe Noctem game, but we wanted to kind of flush it out a little bit more and maybe let our friend Colton here revisit an old flame, as it were. Um, uh, Obviously, trigger warnings ahead, I guess, of uh, gross violence. um, if you have an aversion to firearms, this probably isn't for you. But one must understand that dark deeds begin. I forget the phrase, but essentially, this is a dark game with a lot of adult subject matter, with lots of violence, gratuitous violence, darkness, betrayal, manipulations of otherwise benign spirituality, all that fun stuff. If and you find any of this upsetting, just remember blame the character, not the player. Yeah, without out of the way, do the YouTube stuff, the like and the subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. We're trying to build our YouTube, so this will be YouTube exclusive. Just a little bit of an audio from a little half session of just some fun. Without any further ado, let's get into it. The sun begins to rise upon Chicago. Pinks and oranges scatter through clouds through the sky as morning mist kind of hangs low on the sidewalk and the roads. As we pan down from the city skyline and slowly descend into the misty streets of Chicago, we pan into what seems to be a walled-off monastery in Chicago. And across from this monastery, there's a parking lot in which, in an old, rusted-up, classic Chevy car, we see our man of the hour. John, if you would like to describe yourself, that would be awesome.
This international man of mystery's got a lot of bulkier clothes than other people do this time of year. It's getting into spring. They're lightening up, but John's still just as bulky as ever, bristling with weapons, magnum on his hip, thin vest. He's flicking aside his long blonde hair, feet up on the dash, flickering his gaze to the monastery where he needs to be. He's turning scraps of paper full of things he should be remembering into blunts, and just waiting for the show to start. Though I guess the first step's on him.
Yeah. And as you do, frustration of inaction more or less burbles to the surface, as you know behind those benign walls of an otherwise respected religion that should be cherished and celebrated, and with a lot of cultural significance to many, many different types of people. You know that behind those benign walls there's a monster taking advantage of the beliefs of humanity, who preys upon the dregs and only feeds like a parasite, only taking, never giving anything. You think of Simon. You think of what he's become. The mockery that he is. What is going through John's head as these thoughts kind of flash through?
John's thinking that the calmest waves, be they off the coast of Rio or Sydney, often have the largest sharks. As he's thinking his little poetic thought, the sun comes up. There's a flicker of light and he sort of jumps, startles a bit. He's been a little paranoid, sniper scopes and all. But he's up now, so he's opening his door, slamming it shut, and with the boot open, he's pulling out. Not exactly is he pulling out. Go with the AR-18.
Yeah, is it more modernized or is it like more of a classic polymer variant?
It's more the classic one, another IRA used.
As you flip open the side folding stock and charge the round with the exterior charging handle. Do you put on a balaclava or anything to protect it, to shield your face, or...
He'll do up the scarf he was wearing in winter. Still got to be around the back somewhere.
Yeah. As you do, you wrap the scarf, conceal your identity. You see that the parking lot on the exterior of the monastery is pretty barren. You know, if you're going to strike, now is the best time. There's minimum civilian casualties except for the residents of the monastery. How does John feel about attacking this place? Because I know John is a little spiritual himself.
He readies a little peace in his heart. He'll know that if it comes down to it and there's a monk in the way, the most he can give them, besides a liberating bullet, is a knowing glance, hoping they're at peace if something goes wrong. But it won't. It won't.
As you grab your gear, sling your rifle, I'm imagining there's a creak of rust behind the trunk as it closes. It's time. What do you do as you approach? Do you just approach through the front door, or do you try to gain access to the side?
The side entrance is definitely more John's style. He's going to be looking up. He knows some of the craftier licks. Well, let's just say he imagines a Nos hiding in every stairwell. So he does a little quick fake flick of his aim, see if anything startles.
Roll me a wits awareness.
Sure thing, mate. Uh, 5 ED10 or normal?
It'd be the normal hunter dice, the 5e normal.
Okay.
You don't need to do the d10s. But if you want, that's fine too. If you do the d10s. Wow. Goddamn. So as you flash your rifle up and then like glance around, I'm imagining that you're kind of off to the side. You're not like in the middle of the street.
Yeah, he's well in the alley now. A little sideway, whatever it is.
Yeah, so allow me to describe a little bit about this monastery. There are walls and a gate. a gate for the front entrance and kind of higher walls that kind of deter most people trying to get in. But you know that if you might be able to scale this wall and navigate through the yard and find a way into the monastery proper. But as you flash up your rifle and you glance around, again, not knowing all the rules of vampires and blank bodies, you don't see anyone that seems to react to you bringing up your rifle. You don't see anything that seems to respond.
Yeah, well, that's enough peekaboo. John will sling his rifle and pull out his revolver as he's trying to clamber.
Roll me a dexterity athletics. Two successes. It takes you a little bit, but with due time, you do manage to scale the wall. But you notice that there's a monk that turns the corner as soon as you do. You get a flash of what the yard or what this garden looks like. There's some plants, mostly of Eastern origin, some bamboo shoots and some bushes. You have a couple seconds to react before he notices you. As far as, or if you want to directly engage him, it's up to you.
John's going to slip on by, swift as he can.
All
We'll
right.
try not to go through whatever entrance he just came out of, because that's probably where activity is.
Dexterity stealth, please. Oh. That was silly. One success.
I've got 5.
There we go. All right. Do you want to burn any willpower?
Yeah, I think so. So what's that?
So you
3?
can. Yep, 3. Four successes. Yeah, as you kind of quickly you maneuver off to one of the hedges and you stay low. And as you do, I'm imagining as you go low, as far as like appearance wise, I'm imagining that are you wearing all black, or would it be a series of greens and browns? Would it be a classic mercenary getup, or would it be like, I'm imagining one of those scout chest rigs over your level 3 alpha soft plates?
Yep.
Okay.
It'd look like any third world uniform, I guess.
And as you drop low, this is a little too familiar. It's just like you were back in the jungles of Nicaragua. Except it's cold here. The ground smells different. Flashes of gunfire and screams as you're brought back to that moment, but focus brings you, laser-like focus brings you back to being present as you crawl, staying low, until you see the movement off to your left kind of finally dissipates as you stand up. As you navigate your way over to maybe a window, I'm imagining. It's quite a large window. You could punch out the screen or take a knife to it to clear that first. It's up to you.
At least there's no bugs here. Bolo it is. John will just silently cut up the screen with his bolo knife.
Yeah, no problem. Now, that's not a very hard task, but just being that you have to stay low and you're trying to be stealthy, roll me that. I will take a dexterity stealth as well. If you'd be so kind. 3 successes. Now, just a reminder, you can use your desperation dice whenever you would like, by the way. Just reminding you on that mechanic. As you think that you've gotten away with it, as you feel your bolo knife cut through the steel mesh, you slowly clamber up, glancing around wooden hallways, or excuse me, straight wooden floors and old. It looks like this place was built in the 70s. Looks old. The wall, the paint chips. It looks like it's kind of more or less have fallen into slight disrepair, maybe due to a lack of a budget. You want to roll me one more wits awareness for the time being. Wow. As you kind of glance around, you hear that there are whispers, people talking around you. It seems that there are some new homeless people who are been taken into the order. More or less, the monks seem to be taking care of them, and they seem interested in trying the monk way of life. Maybe out of, one could say, desperation from not being on the streets, maybe finding a sort of belonging. Maybe, under most circumstances, that would be admirable. But what does John think, knowing that there's a creature here that transcends nightmarish understanding?
Yeah, I wonder what their initiation is, eh? Maybe I'll find out more if I listen to the newbies. Maybe they've got a story to tell.
Yeah, they talk some more, until finally you can hear them getting closer. As you, is the Great One asleep downstairs? Shh, speak quietly. And you hear a pause, almost maybe glancing around. It was a long night last night. She is resting. Hear almost a sigh of relief. As you, as maybe, there's a sense of relief knowing that your target is here. Kind of occurs to you that you don't know if they can fight during the day, or if they are truly just paralyzed.
What does John know about the floor plan? If anything.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. What does John know about the floor plan, if anything?
Oh, yeah. So, if you want to roll me an intelligence wits, just really quick, this will just be a representation of how much information you've gotten over the over the weeks of monitoring. Jesus fucking Christ. 5 successes with 2 crits, mind you. John's a fucking beast. God damn. Yeah, you know this place pretty much. You have like blueprints of exactly like given by the library of like when it was built, some of the floor plans you were able to find, or maybe you were able to find it online, but you have a plethora of information about the floor plans of this place. As far as the basement goes, you could be they could be talking about the basement that came that that was constructed with the place, or you remember seeing, and this is gonna be kind of a reveal on the spot thing, but due to your high roll, you were able to also know that there's a bit of a new side chamber that was added on. Maybe that's where all the funding may have went instead of the maintenance of this place. But you know that it's not, this sub-level is not amongst the floor plan that are the when this place was first built. You were only able to find it through like bank receipts and whatnot, and like receipts of like the contractors that may have done it.
Yeah, people blabbed to City Hall too much, maybe.
Yeah.
But, John's wondering what he needs to do to slip past these guys and get to the new initiates.
Now it's a challenge either way. You could try to sneak past them, or you could try the loud option.
John's going to remember the blunts he's rolled up, and he's going to think to himself, if he flicked one to the floor, the monks would probably go pick it up. Or at least one of them would.
Yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, he's going to try that.
Would be a good roll for that. I would say dexterity subterfuge. That's what I would say. But I would also allow no, athletics, maybe. Yeah, I guess subterfuge is the best one for it. Dexterity subterfuge. One success. Do you want to burn any willpower? And
I think he would at this critical junction.
Or you could also use desperation dice. Right now, you'd be at level 1 threat. Or, sorry, level 2 out of 5.
I think he'll re-roll.
Willpower first?
Yes, sir.
Whew. Great balls of fire. God damn. As you, describe to me how you do this. You just kind of flick it? Or are you a little bit more purposeful with it?
Yeah, John flattens himself to the wall and he peeks around the corner. He sees maybe there's a coat rack where some of the homeless people's clothes are, and he flicks it just underneath there. so that the monks put 2 and 2 to get cover.
Yeah, and you see they turn, and one of them kind of rolls her eyes and picks it up, and it's like, I thought I told them to come here sober. And he goes, and he seems like he's gonna toss it out, maybe throw it away, dispose of it properly. As the other monk kind of hangs back, seeming from the glances and the look that you can see, seems pretty pensive, contemplative.
John's gonna sneak up and crack him on the back of the head with the blunt side of the bolo.
Yeah, roll me a strength or dexterity melee. Two. So here's, do you want to burn any willpower or desperation dice?
Let's go for desperation dice.
All right. Add 2 more dice to your pool. Now, just a reminder, if you fail this roll, even if it's not, if there's a 1 in any of these rolls, or if you overall fail the roll, you have to either choose despair or overreach. Send it.
Understood. So it's the 2 desperation dice.
Yeah. Despair or overreach?
Overreach.
So those who do not know, mechanically, it's a 1 to 5 system. Essentially, hunters can add desperation dice to their pools akin to the level of severity of the situation that we are in. For example, there's 2, we're at desperation 2 now, which means it's pretty perilous, but at the moment everything is still quiet. Adding being that you choose overreach, John chose overreach, essentially what happens is that he does succeed the roll. He does do what he wants to, but the overall situation becomes more dangerous for him and his cell. So, describe to me how you do bash this guy in the back of the head. Because it's not going to be clean.
Well, he's aiming for the temple, not the weakest part of the skull, because he's trying not to kill him.
Yeah, as you do, you take you said the flat blade of the bolo, or like the blunt end, like the pommel?
Like the reverse side.
So as you do kind of, for a second, you see he does go out, and he like, you do hit your target and your mark, and you see as he stumbles, he hits his head on one of the tables kind of jutting out from one of the walls that holds some incense, and you see that there's a distinct like blood spatter at the corner of this table as he doesn't seem to be moving. You could stay back and make sure he's okay, help him. Or you could move on with your mission.
Something about hearing him talk about some kind of master makes me feel a little less inclined. Their master's so good, then maybe they'll help them if they're thrown at their lot.
Do you hide the body?
There's already blood on the floor. John's just gonna move on at a brisker pace.
Okay, yeah. There is blood on the floor. Do you move on to the basement? Or do you try to figure your way around first?
He's going to go to the initiates.
Yeah, you see, how do you approach them? Do you, like, sneakily approach, or do you kind of just barge in, put your rifle in their faces?
He's gonna put the revolver in their faces and say that he's gonna rob them.
So, yeah, we'll do this, and
Basically,
you see,
just trying to scare him and get him to run out, and hopefully
yes,
the monks that are outside get distracted by them. Don't
sure.
come back in.
As you round the corner, cocking a revolver, and you'd see like a group of these young. They look younger than you thought they would be. Some of them troubled teens, maybe in their high school years. A couple young adults, one older man. As you turn, you see fear flashes in their eyes. These aren't people that are used to seeing guns in their face, and if they do, they are the ones that surrender quickly. They are not of harder stuff like you. One of them doesn't seem like he's as afraid as you might think. Maybe he's a little bit more used to having a gun put in his face. But he looks at you with a calm patience, while everyone else, their eyes go wide. They begin to shake and tremble. Roll me a manipulation, intimidation. Excuse me. No successes. Do you want to burn willpower or desperation? Now, mind you, the desperation dice would now be 3.
I think desperation's more fitting for the act he's gonna put on.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll me 3. Oof. So I don't think this causes despair or overreach. I think that, yeah, I think it's only if you roll a 1 on any of those dice. I think that's what it is. So, as you do, you see all of them, they kind of look like they're stunned. It doesn't look like they're so much compliant. They look like they don't really know what's going on. Then maybe they don't know if you're real. It's difficult to say. But what do you say as you cock the hammer on your revolver? You mentioned it was a 400 Magnum, right?
It's a 444. Yeah.
What do you say
Well,
as they see your iron?
At the start, John was thinking of putting on some other kind of accent, British or something to try and get them not to report that one important part to the police later. But as he's scanning, looking at everyone, and he sees this one dude's eyes, he doesn't say anything for a second, and then he blinks and, right, cunts, all your fucking singing bowls, all this fucking gold shit, I want it. Where is it?
Wait, what are you? Wait, what are you talking about? Fuck! And you see the calm man stands up. He's an older guy, and he looks at you and he says, "Put your gun away, son. There's no need for that here. No one needs to get hurt. No one needs to You see a couple of them. They're rifling through their pockets, giving you. They don't have much, but you see he looks at you with eyes of somber determination. You're not gonna rob this place.
Yeah, you lot should probably go. I've gotta have a bit of a chat with the old geezer here.
And you see the the group kind of slowly start to move, kind of like some of them kind of move towards your back. Um, so they're not like behind where the direction of where you're pointing your gun, which I imagine is leveled at the old man. As they
Sure is.
as they scurry out, um, you hear a couple of them scream and cry as they do. Maybe this is normal, but John might. I don't know. Would he be? What would he be feeling as far as like seeing these kids run away?
There'd be regret, but it's nothing he hasn't seen before. He is a little nervous, little shaky though.
Come on now, son. Put the gun down. His hands are up on either side of his face. But again, his tin chin is tucked. His stance is slightly ablated. Looks like this guy, at the very least, has some martial arts experience.
Makes you think you can Philly shell a 44. We're going to have a bit of a chat. You're right, I'm not robbing this place. Well, you've been downstairs yet? I haven't. Pretty sure I know what I'm going to find, though.
He looks a little confused. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. I came here because I want to be a better person. It's never too late. Could put that down. We can talk like men, not like animals.
Yeah, there's an irony to what you're saying here, mate. But, storyteller, can I roll wits insight on this guy, see if he's lying?
I would love you to. Oof. Okay. So, do you want to add any more to your roll, or do you want to let it?
I think I'll roll willpower.
Okay. Up to 3. Let me see here. Okay. 2 more. 4 successes. You're seeing that when you talk about the basement, he seems a little confused. But as far as his nature, he seems like he knows more than he's letting on, but you don't know if it has to do with this place. You're not sure if he's a pawn of this place necessarily, or a thrall to these blank bodies. But you can definitely tell this isn't the first time he's had a gun pointed at him before. So how about it, son?
Yeah, I've been there with the whole martyr shit, but I think we're both interested in living another day. What do you say? I'm gonna sort of aim the revolver up in the air, like sort of half opening my hand as a gesture.
Yeah. You see, the man doesn't relax, but he slowly puts his hands down. And, so why are you here? And he, like, kind of begins to circle you, maybe trying to get to your flank.
I'm gonna slowly start to back to the doorway.
Of where you came, or towards the inner parts of the monastery?
Whichever way is closer to the basement.
Inner to the monastery. Got it.
Yeah.
We don't have to do this. You don't have to do whatever it is you're going to do. This isn't a place of violence. You can walk away from this a better man than when you came in. You can just put that gun down. Things don't need to be hard. No one needs to get hurt. No one needs to die.
Something tells me we should have met somewhere else. But you can chew on that while I wander on down and do a little pest control.
Whatever it
probably
is.
Stay to your friends outside.
He bites his lip a little, and you see his eyes kind of dart around, maybe thinking of several things. Maybe you see the flash of maybe something as he's thinking about maybe rushing you. The thought crosses his mind with your high insight, and you know people. But you see he kind of thinks better of it. Maybe he should follow his own advice, and that violence isn't the time. Violence isn't the call. And with that, he slowly kind of maneuvers towards the door of where the kids ran to. Now, I should have described him a little better. He's a tall man, about just around 6 feet tall. He's balding, and he has a mustache, and he has a very lanky frame, but his muscles, his forearms are like wires, tightly wound wires. Definitely a man who was once very athletic, now kind of losing weight as he's gained with age, as he's gained in age. But his eyes are a focused brown. They would be gold in the light, you think?
Fucking Clint Eastwood motherfucker. Righty. Back to a little normalcy. I'll shoulder my AR team and start clearing down.
Yeah. Roll me another one more. Oh, did I do the wrong thing? I did do the wrong thing. Excuse me. I almost did the wrong thing again. Roll me a one more wits awareness. I want to see if you get the, like, as you're maneuvering, if you run into anyone, and if you do, whether or not you get the jump on them or not. So as you're pieing through through this corner with a 16-inch long rifle, it's a little difficult. But as you do, you run it. You hear some screams, some heavy footsteps, someone talking to someone dialing 911. It seems like the other body has been discovered. As you maneuver down, though, maybe your pace quickened. You see someone coming up from. You approach the kind of the stairwell where the basement is. It's at that point that you hear footsteps coming up. You have seconds to respond. What are you doing?
John's gonna set up to rifle butt coat hanger whoever walks around the corner.
Rifle butt coat hanger? Describe to me what that is.
So basically he's just gonna, I don't know, like smash them in the nose.
Oh, you're gonna just kind of like, okay, you're gonna like bash them with the butt of your gun. Got it.
Yeah.
Go roll me a strength melee. This first roll, you'll have the advantage. 2. Are you gonna activate anything? Or are you gonna re-roll anything?
Nah, it's all good. I'm expecting an unarmed monk.
Yeah, and as you do, as you smash him in the face, you see he crumples down to his knee, holding his face. As you see that you smacked him square in the forehead, and you see blood begins to gush down his face as he stares up at you in horror, seeing this probably now but a barrel of a rifle pointing in his face.
Where's your friends and is your master awake?
Sir, roll me a roll me one more manipulation, either intimidation or persuasion. I think intimidation would be better. Add an extra dice to that. Because he just took a fucking rifle to the face and he's not looking for trouble, it seems.
Intimidation it is.
Okay. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll add some desperation.
Go for it.
What's that, 3?
Yeah. Oh! Despair or overreach?
Despair.
So, mechanically, you cannot call upon your desperation dice until your hunter drive has been sated. I do believe yours is curiosity. Is that correct?
It is.
So as you like stare at him, he looks at you and he just says, listen, there's a way you can walk away and not incur her wrath. You will die. There's no need for you to do this.
Is that the whole spiel, mate?
Spiel, there's no spiel. It's just she will crush you. Your life will be over. And violence doesn't solve whatever it is wrong. And how would John feel when he hears that again? That violence might not be maybe Simon's words echoing to Arthur. A conversation that you've overheard in the past. Simon and Monk.
John's a little freaked out by these monks, and he's wondering. That's why he's been fucking up a little bit of cognitive dissonance. Maybe he imagines he's hitting Simon for a bit. He's wondering why he hasn't hit Simon already. But he brushes those questions aside and just rubs the guy's bald head and continues walking down.
You see, he stops you. No, I don't. If you go down there, you will die. I wish to spare you from this. You will not go down. Walk away. Just leave. Leave before law enforcement do come.
Maybe I just set the whole place on fire then. How's your master gonna feel about that?
You see he looks pained, like gives you a pained expression. Please don't. You don't know what you're doing.
It's a bit of a worldly attachment to a pile of wood.
It's not about that. It's about the things you would be destroying, the people, the lives.
Where's your rice wine?
Excuse me? Why does that matter?
Oh, I'm gonna go for a controlled burn then.
You see he looks alarmed when you say that. Roll me another manipulation intimidation.
I think I'm just gonna start looking for it.
Okay. Go ahead and you see he grabs you. If you turn your back on him, he's gonna try to stop you.
I'm just gonna smash him in the teeth with the barrel.
Roll me another dexterity. He's gonna try to grab you. He's gonna try to grab you. Are you rolling to attack him?
Yeah, but if I need to defend first, then I'll roll for that.
Okay. Yeah, you can either decide to attack him, and the dice margin will be you'll take the damage. Basically, it's like a trade. You'll willingly take the damage of his roll if you in order to do damage to him.
I'll trade then.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and make me that roll then. Okay, so you both do, you're going to bash him with your gun, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna smash the barrel into his teeth.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you a plus. Yeah. Describe to me how you just down him.
I suppose the moment his arms go down to try and grab me, his arms aren't protecting his face, so
yeah.
It's just going to be a quick little jab, and then he's down. I'm walking back, aiming at him.
You're walking back? Oh, okay, gotcha. You see, he goes down, holding his mouth, his teeth, some of his teeth shattered in the attack. And you go looking for the wine.
Yeah, shouldn't they have a bit of rice wine around here? I'm gonna emulate the master when I find her.
You're gonna what? Sorry.
I'm gonna emulate them.
Oh, you're gonna burn it, right? Is that fair? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, roll me a dexterity. Excuse me. Wits awareness. Glance around, look for, or an wits investigation. I'll take either. Jesus Christ. All right, yeah, you're able to find it with some degree of simplicity. What do you do with it now that you have it? You have like basically 2 gallons.
Well, I'm gonna swap to a lighter in one hand and then carrying the jar with the other, and I'm gonna make my way down.
Okay, as you do, as you make your way down.
I'm gonna keep the flame lit, but by the way, I'm not gonna.
Oh, so you have. So describe to me exactly how you're carrying this again, just so I'm very clear.
So I've got my lighter lit, so that I don't have to wait for it.
Okay, and you're holding it next to the gallon.
Yeah.
Okay. As you go down, you see what seems to be a little bit of a prayer room. At that point, that you hear a voice that kind of echoes through, and it gives you like a very extreme headache in this moment. Roll me a we'll say yeah, and a wits resolve, or sorry, resolve composure. Sorry. You hear a voice that kind of seems to echo. You are very unwise for coming here.
And where might you be, pretty lady?
I am wherever I need to be. If you do not, you have made a very grave enemy tonight. Today, I'm going to break you.
And you've made all of humanity your enemy, so that's why you hide at night, right?
It's more complicated than that. Oh, you think I'm a Cainite? I'm no such thing. I'm something else altogether. Something that transcends your understanding.
Is that your way of saying you're too dumb to explain it to me?
I'm a creature that transcends death, my existence. Transcends that of your... I've been alive for a very long time. If I were to explain it to you, no, I don't think you would even understand what it's like to relive what I have day in and day out.
Well, if conversation's not going to be our strong suit, we can get down to the fight. Much rather douse you with this, but I'm fine just lighting up this room, so you do you.
Yeah, roll me an manipulation intimidation. You hear the voice kind of echo from behind you. Child, I've already won. Now I need you to make me a strength. Well, we'll say a dexterity athletics to see if you hold on to the bottle of wine. High goes to the. So, I forgot to mention it to you because when it comes to physical traits, Kindred have a half dice over you, for every success of theirs, just because a vampire is, or most supernatural creatures have the natural advantage when it comes to physical traits. So when it comes to physical tests, every it's increased by a half dice point. That's my home rule for it. I should have explained that. Previously, you were vampires, so you didn't have to worry about it. So as she there's a you see for a moment a woman. She almost apparates in front of you, very similarly to how some of the vampires that you've seen have, and she almost easily slaps the rice wine out of your hand, and she's gonna go to it looks like she's like postured up in the kind of an Eastern martial arts stance, maybe something to the viewer would seem something like Wing Chun, or a mix between Wing Chun or maybe Southern Praying Mantis, as she, as one of her palms is outstretched up, and the other one is almost at where the crook of her elbow would be, as she seems that she's gonna strike you. Roll me that athletics dexterity to evade, or you can try to trade. Okay. Is this to dodge?
This is to dodge, yeah.
Okay. Too many. There we go. You see, with like almost a crippling blow, you feel with one a flurry of punches, kind of like she just more or less comes in with what seems to be like kind of a chain punch that kind of moves into kind of she extends a couple of her knuckles forward and twists her body and her hips into one kind of thrust, almost like what seems to be a rapier thrust, but with the points of her folded knuckles into her palm. Now it seems that the flurry of punches seem to be just a distraction. They kind of snap back with almost cracking the air as they almost do a feint as she goes down into what seems to be a big long jab to your chest, and you feel these knuckles strike your sternum with it seems like you were hit with a concentrated bowling ball as you fly back, now on your back prone. Well, I'll let you roll for that. Do you want to make me a dexterity athletics? See if you make it from stop yourself from being prone. This won't cost against your turn, which will be coming up next. Okay, yeah, you're able to keep on your feet, and because of that high roll, I'll let you bring your rifle up. I imagine that's what you're going for.
John's gonna flick his lighter at wherever the large pool of rice wine is.
All right, give me a dexterity athletics. Or, yeah, I'll say either a dexterity athletics or a dexterity subterfuge. You said and. Say that again.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on what that does to my turn, if it takes up the one.
I'll let you do that first, and then you'd have to take... you basically won't be able to move. I'll let you bring up your rifle. Woo! The fire...
This is with subterfuge button, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of sneak it, like you flick your wrist as you kind of spin off, and with the sliding of your rubber soles against your worn rubber soles against this concrete, you slide back, and that's when you kind of flick the lighter as it clatters, and it slides over almost perfectly to where you toss the rice wine, and you hear a small little whoom, and some flames begin to lick up on the corner of your vision.
Fucking slippery fucking varnish floors. Let's hope this stuff is inflammable.
Do you bring up your rifle or your pistol in close quarters?
Rifle.
Okay. I'll let you make a shot.
I would like to say that it's got a collapsible stock, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Folding.
Easy. Yep.
Folding.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just gonna hip fire.
Yeah, dexterity firearms at -2. -2 for being close quarters. You want to burn any willpower?
That sounds great.
Whoa, buddy. God damn. Okay, so what's that? It's 5 damages, but 2, 5, 5, 6 at... Is AR-18... AR-18 is 5, 5, 6, right?
Yeah, it is. I'd like to say for flavor, I tried to fire, but I had the safety on, and fast as a gun, I flick it back off.
Yeah. That's that's almost perfect. Like in the chaos, yeah. And as you do, Jesus Christ. Describe to me exactly, like, because you put all of your shots almost perfectly at her chest. And it's now in the muzzle flashes that you can kind of see her now. She has what seems to be kind of jagged bob cut with what seems to be almost now in the light, you see teal eyes that look on with you again with alien comprehension. Her skin is kind of a pearl-like white beneath her Asian features. As she looks like she's it looks like she's has some Thai heritage. She has she looks on with you with like a focus, as almost in surprise now, as you strike her with rounds, as she kind of goes to roll out of the way, kind of dodging at preternatural speeds. It seems like you kind of caught her unprepared. So if you had to guess, you definitely hurt her.
Did I mag dump her, or?
Yeah, you would need to reload now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the 44. There's still time to talk, love. Where you going?
You see, she holds her wounds, but you see no blood seems to leak out. As she looks at you with kind of with disgust, and she kind of glances around and she says, "What do you want?"
Just a few answers. You gotta get past me to get out of this burning room. That can happen. So if you're not a canine, what are you?
You see she thinks about it. Something angrier. And older.
Yeah, you got a pretty good show going on here. Didn't seem terribly angry, though. I'd almost say you're living in harmony. Or is that just a cultural thing you're latching onto? Something you're stealing?
It's a bit more complicated than that. I'm here looking for something. Perhaps you and I can strike to some sort of agreement. Because the way I look at it, I can't go up there. And you cannot survive long with me down here. The best case for you is that we kill each other. Why throw away your life for such things?
Yeah, you sound pretty kindred to me. Yeah, what's the rub? What are you looking for?
There's a place here that exists here and everywhere. My objective is to find it. You spend a lot of time in the sewers.
Oh, only on dates.
You see, she begins to kind of circle you, kind of putting her facing you, but she kind of starts to move it so her back is to what seems to be another room right behind her.
Oh yeah, I heard you had renovations done.
Of course, it's a little disgraceful for a girl to stay in a basement, don't you think?
Well, sewers. Yeah. So if I let you walk in there, you're going to come out with a, I don't know, broadsword or something?
You see, she kind of weighs her options.
Tick tock, tick tock.
She glances at the fire, and she kind of looks amused. If you... What are you, human? How'd you find me? Tell me that at least.
Well, let's just say the usual fish weren't biting, so... Thought I'd try new waters.
Put your weapon down, and we will talk.
All these years of living and you still don't have a good sense of humor. It's not a very good joke.
Roll me a, let's see here. I said, put down your gun. Roll me a, intelligence. Intelligence plus composure. Oh, that was an accident. Oh, oops. Try this again. I did an oopsie poopsie. I'm gonna willpower that. Oh my god. Okay. So here's what happens. You feel almost that same kind of wave of like you want to please her. You want to get to know her more. You want to understand her. It's like you just want to appease her. But then you feel it kind of brush the surface of your thoughts. Tell me, how do you combat this wave, this psychic attack?
John pictures himself doing what she asks, and suddenly in this picture of himself, he's not the guy with a gun with a bit of plate on. He's a full knight St. George. He's imagining a fierceness in himself and a lance aiming down, piercing a dragon. And he snaps back to what he needs to do. I'm gonna put one in her.
Okay. Dexterity firearms. She's gonna try to dodge. God damn. So there's, it's almost like time slows for a moment as you pull the trigger, and it's double action configuration. The moment that you perceive the muzzle flash, you see she's dropped to all fours, kind of in kind of a very, almost a sloppy roll, like a sloppy shoulder roll. She kind of moves towards, kind of like a reverse somersault. She basically does a backward roll, excuse me, into the room behind her, and you see she immediately turns, and she breaks line of sight with you. In the series that you were in, the time that you pull off one shot, and I'm gonna say that you lined up the second and pulled the trigger with the muzzle flash once more, illuminating the room as you try to hit her a second time, maybe even walking forward. Both of them miss.
What's the condition of this fire?
It's getting it's getting more and more heavier. The flames are now beginning to lick up towards the ceiling.
Are there any banners in the room?
Yeah, there's some tapestries. Yeah.
Yeah, while keeping my revolver leveled, I'm gonna chuck them on the fire to make sure it doesn't go out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna advance.
It's at that point. Roll me a. Do you advance carefully or with expeditiously?
Quite carefully.
As you do, you take your time. You start pieing the corner. It's then you hear a smash, like almost like some thin concrete was just shattered. And as you quickly turn to investigate what the sound of that is, you see that there seems to be an underground tunnel.
Her advantage, close quarters. My advantage, she can't fucking dodge. Let's go. I'm gonna reload my AR-18 because I don't think I'll be doing it while I'm inside there. Then I'll
Because it
run on through.
Yeah, as you hop down, you see it. It looks like it's actually fairly spacious. There seems to be it seems to be excuse me. There's a tunnel that goes forward, and you see that leads to a ladder well that goes down. And it's at that point that you see her eyes, like her teal eyes, peer up at you as she begins to descend the ladder well.
Boo.
You shoot?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is with the reloaded AR-18, by the way.
Yep. Oof. I burn a willpower.
This will be my last willpower.
Okay. You make the last shot. Do you like mag dump, or do you take a controlled burst? Yeah. As you do, the room is filled with fully automatic gunfire. It's deafening. As you see, there's a flash of what seems to be a smile as this thing descends into the sewers. Do you follow her further?
Sure do.
As you go down as you go approach the ladder well, you see that it's a circular ladder out of cement. It seems that this room has been hollowed out. As you do you how do you go down the stairs? Do you just kind of like um keep your gun down, or like slung over with like the you basically what I'm saying is if you have a weapon in hand, it's going to determine how difficult it is to, or how much time it takes to clear this ladder well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do it one-handed with his 44.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity athletics in order to do it quickly. All right. As you climb down, you hear another voice through your head. You want to know what I am, child? I am an idea. I am an aspiration. I am regret. And your head feels cold. Like there's a cold sensation as this voice speaks to you.
And I hope you're not just cryptic too.
And as you go down, you see you go down to the sewers proper. You have no idea where she could have gone. And the entire sewer sprawls out before you. It seems that she has retreated to a secondary location. Which to you is kind of surprising. You were under the assumption that she would, or this creature would probably fight you. But it seems that your initial barrage seemed to have dissuaded her.
John thinks to himself that secondary location might mean more of her, more of them, whatever they are. This will be a bit of a juicy report then. John's way of spinning things. He thinks about what he's going to hear from the others. This was some failed little side adventure. Too much police presence, but...
You want to try to track her then? Or do you call off the search for now?
He's going to call off the search for now. But he's going to try and go up a manhole that's a bit further from the cops.
Yeah. Of course. Give me one moment. What's John thinking as he's navigating these sewers?
John's thinking about the first time he did this in Brazil. Oh, he's glad the tunnels aren't as filled with the innocent. He'll rub his chest a bit. And I think he should probably bring some friends next time.
And as you do, you wander, thinking about friends. Friends. Simon. It all always comes back to him. Why did he have to get involved with this cult girl? Why did he have to take that curse? Why did Garrett even offer it to him? Why did you deign to talk to Garrett to begin with? You think all of this is... What kind of flashes through your head as you think about all of these things?
He remembers being on Overwatch in that park. And their first little chat was going down. And he wonders how much simpler, better things would be if he just... they all had just pulled the trigger on the first one they saw. Sure, maybe they would have lost the fight, but it would have been clean. Things are just messy now. If he was dead, he wouldn't be in this fucking sewer.
And it smells bad. Doesn't smell great. As you ascend, where were you trying to go?
Well, he was aiming for one of those stereotypical manholes that's in an alley somewhere off a main street, obviously.
Yeah, I'm imagining that you've done enough research of the local area, being concerned of maybe some of those vampires that can appear and disappear. As you... Oh.
And he's aiming for a restaurant because he's a little hungry.
Now, you still have all of your gear. Do you leave your gear, hide it somewhere, and then come back to it later? Because it might be difficult to kind of blend in upstairs in the morning when people are on their way to work. Suddenly see a dude with an AR-18.
Yeah, he's gonna... When he goes up, first thing he's gonna do is try and find a trash bag or something.
Yeah. You are in an alley, so as you kind of maneuver your way up, you do see a trash can.
He's gonna think to himself which of the newbies he's gonna ask to clean all his shit, and then he's gonna dump the conspicuous stuff.
Do you pull the trash can out to the side and maneuver it so it's a little harder to see?
Yep.
Yeah. Roll me a stealth subterfuge. I know that's not necessarily a normal roll, but it's my my rules, my toys. My toys, my rules.
Can I do streetwise?
Yeah. I will take wit streetwise then. Yeah, it's no problem to you. As you move your stuff is kind of off to the side. John smokes, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
As you hide it and begin to wander towards a local restaurant, you get the suspicion that that's not going to be the last time that you see her. Something about that smile you can't get out of your head. And as you maybe walk through the doors of a local diner, you see some hoodlums shoving each other. Kind of maybe reminds you of yourself when you were that young. And it's there as you have a seat and order. Do you have any closing thoughts, John?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll let you go.
Just more about friends. We're meant to stop each other from being led astray. He thinks about how much easier it would have been to snap out of things if he had someone else, but he thinks about how he didn't snap out Simon. I'll think about that guy he killed, cracked over the head. I'll think about how to be better. Maybe you'll ask that old man.
And as the camera pans out, as the waitress approaches you and takes your order, the camera goes down till we see the sewer that we're rather familiar with. The passageway to the labyrinth. It's there that will end our our World of Darkness game. For now. And we'll do some pros cons favorite moments. John, what do you got? I know it was a shorter one.
I like the claustrophobia of this session, the layout. Very, very gamey.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I know a con, but maybe there are some things that shouldn't be rolled. I feel like the density of rolls might have been a bit much.
That's fair.
Maybe something as simple as throwing the lighter, maybe things like that.
Well, essentially, what you were gonna get it, no matter what. What I was determining, more or less, is how fast things would go up.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Just something to think about, depending on how many people there are.
Of course.
And their willpower pool. But then again, this is a side session, so that stuff doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, this isn't gonna punish like you a whole lot. This is just to do a little bit of fun. But I do see what you mean. I did want to use your resources.
Pros, I really like that little Clint Eastwood sesh. That was interesting. Something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. It's really funny because I think that moment held more attention than when you confronted the Kuei Jin, because that was kind of crazy. The amount of damage that you did in the first turn was kind of wild. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was pretty impressive. Yeah, Jesus. That was probably, I think that was most definitely my favorite scene. Sorry, you wanted to do you have anything else to add?
No, that's right. Nah, just trying to think of a way to word this, but it's going to be a con.
Yeah, go
But
for it.
I think Portrayal of Kuei Jin was a little too kindredy. I don't know.
That's very true. I was actually thinking that myself. I think that I should have done a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's
it's
hard.
interesting because, yeah, the way that, if you look at Bloodlines, for example, the way that the Kuei Jin there are,
They're dharmas, right?
yeah, they're played sort of how you usually play Kindred anyway, very snide. So
Yeah.
cool. So I don't know.
It did feel weird trying to play Kuei Jin. I think I need to familiarize myself more with Kuei Jin stuff because it felt a little off. I do agree.
Yeah, something to consider. Favorite moment would have to be the stare off.
Yeah.
The end was good as well. I had a strong view in my head of the diner and then going down the camera pan. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay. Well, cons, definitely I need to work on Kuei Jin stuff. It's just weird because not a lot of their stuff is available. I mean, as far as like in the modern V5 equivalent. Yeah, but definitely some good takeaways here. As far as like moments of learning, as far as like playing Kuei Jin go. Definitely gonna do a bit more homework. But what I did like is kind of the introspection of John a little bit. John is always kind of, as far as I know, he's always been kind of a little bit more of an introspective character. Up until like towards the end of the session of our old Hunter game. So it's cool hearing more of his thoughts. Gives me more to work with. Yeah, my favorite moment would also have to be the standoff, and definitely if you want to give us pros cons favorite moment in the chat. If you do give me cons, give me a way to improve it. I'm always trying to improve. I'm never trying to walk back. But on that note, I think that's everything. Wow. Until next time. And this will not be the last time that you see John. But until next time, good evening.